All right, we've got an update number 2 on the biggest controversy of the day thus far on the Matt Murphy Radio Show on Super Talk. By the way, hello, welcome back. Thank you for being with us, whether you're listening in your automobile, your home, your place of business. I thank you, thank you, thank you. Maybe you're watching on Talk TV. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Life is good. That's just for you Talk TV folks. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, or Rumble. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, or Rumble. We beg of you to give us the old thumbs up. I'm just trying to get up to those Chris Hand numbers. That's all I'm trying to do. That's all I'm trying to do. By the way, had a great conversation with Dan Mandis earlier today.
Hi, Brother Dan Mandis.
I wagged my finger at Dan Mandis and told him, why did Nashville's morning news not warn the afternoon show not to show that SNL hockey skit?
Did we get taken down?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we did?
Oh, yeah. Ken, you know about this?
I do not.
So, actually, Dan and I were having a laugh about it. So, I had a couple of appointments yesterday morning, missed a lot of Dan Mandis and Nashville's morning news. I try not to, but I missed yesterday morning. Well, you know that SNL skit on hockey, did you see that, Ken?
I did not see it, but I saw that there was one.
Yeah, this was it was a pretty funny skit. And late in the show yesterday, as you were wrapping up the news and getting ready to get out of here and abuse yourself on I-24,
yeah,
we decided to rack that skit on Talk TV. Play that skit. Oh yeah, SNL skit.
Oh yeah, both of our shows are gone.
So as soon as I did, I was like, man, this is a funny skit. And the skit was supposed to be a public service announcement from the National Hockey League. And it was like, hi, I'm so-and-so with the L.A. Kings. We're not just kings on the ice. We're kings in your neighborhood.
Community.
Or community.
Yeah.
Well, good gracious, Jackson. What's the difference? Neighborhood, community. Anyway. So, and then the next guy is, I'm a ranger for my community. And then the third guy says, I'm a predator in my community. And he goes, wait a minute, that doesn't sound right. Can we move on from that? Anyway, long story short, we played the entire clip. And we got deplatformed. And I don't know if you saw on the super text line, Jackson, as soon as we started playing it, you know what people said?
Dan got banned.
It's like, don't do this.
I'm looking at it right now. It says it's blocked worldwide. They nuked both of the shows off the internet.
Worldwide.
You mean the whole show?
Yes.
Man, that was a good show, too, guys. Well,
and now nobody knows what happened in the Tennessee-Oklahoma game. I'm happy to report, everybody, Tennessee won. Suck it, Ken.
Now if people go back. Now if people go back and listen to Mike's call, they'll think I was totally engaged and was just letting the guy talk. They'll never know what happened during Mike's call because that is not on video anymore.
Oh.
Should I tell them? So, Ken, were you listening at all during this fellow's Mike's call?
Yes.
Yeah, he had a big issue with insurance. I left, so I had to... I left at one point.
Yes.
During his call, I got up and left. And no offense to Mike, we're going to try to help Mike out, but it was just he was destroying my radio career single-handedly, right there on the radio. And so nobody will be able to see that, and I'm very upset about it. No one will be able to watch as I make multiple dam jokes concerning our Columbia Dam conversation. That's very sad.
Just none of that.
None of it. All of it's gone forever.
All because of that SNL skit.
Stupid SNL. And you would think, it's up on YouTube. Why is it some sort of transgression if it's on YouTube for us to be on YouTube playing YouTube on YouTube? Anybody? I don't know.
We gave them a view.
Right.
Yeah. We're helping them.
That's what I thought. Not so much. Not so much. They didn't think so much about
Got
it.
64 likes yesterday.
Oh, I think we're over that already today. I hope.
53.
6436 said, I was going to go back and listen to Mr. Delk's rebuttal to the Columbus Dam. I know. Hey, somebody said, go to Rumble. It's all still there. Hey, there you go. Rumble don't give a damn. You can do anything you want on Rumble.
I've got to give me one of them Rumble accounts.
You got to get you a Rumble, Ken. Everything goes on Rumble.
That way I can tell everybody my Sooners won.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's the Wild West on Rumble.
Until Jackson gets a hold of my account.
Stay away from it, Jackson.
No promises.
By the way, quick update. Grok has weighed in on the Coyote Roadrunner controversy.
It's AI.
Grok disagrees with you, Jackson.
Oh, that AI disagrees with AI.
Grok. One of our loyal listeners asked the question, Grok, is this AI? Grok responds, no. That's real footage of a coyote chasing a roadrunner across a desert road. Nature's own Looney Tunes episode. The animal behaviors align with their own wild instincts. It's not AI generation. Acme's gadgets aren't involved, just raw pursuit. There you go. So never let it be said that Matt Murphy would post anything that's phony or fake on his X account, which is all about phony and fake things. 615-737-9986. Let me get into the filibuster real quick, and then we'll move on to a few other matters involving Election Day. So I know that many of you want the immediate stimulus of eliminating the filibuster. And I understand that Donald Trump, our president of the United States of America, our man, has called for the elimination of the filibuster. And we've discussed this in the past, and I want to do two things. Number one, I want to talk about the history of the filibuster because I think it's important. And then I want to give you my take on all of this. The Senate was always designed to be the cooling body in the Congress of the United States of America. And our founding fathers did not believe that we should pass laws in a heated moment, that we should pass laws without careful and deliberate consideration. Now, obviously, the people's body, that would be the House of Representatives, is the place for good, robust debate and rhetoric, and things can get wild and crazy in there. At this point, you have 435 different congressmen, and they're throwing their bills in the hopper, and they're going wild, and they're going crazy, and they're doing all of this, and they're the appropriations body, and they're about, let's spend money here and there and everywhere. Let's make things happen for the people. And then it gets to the Senate, and the Senate is a place to allow things to simmer down and to allow individuals to, in a calmer, more deliberative fashion, debate the merits of a particular piece of legislation, whether it's absolutely necessary, et cetera. Believe it or not, there was a time in our government's history where people federally, believe it or not, I know this is going to sound crazy to all of you, but settle in, kids, and listen to what I'm about to say. Believe it or not, there was a time when politicians elected to federal office would look at their constituents and tell you that's not the federal government's job. Yeah. Believe it or not, they do it all the time. That's not the role of the federal government. You could even find a senator or a House of Representatives member, or hell, even the president of the United States, that would tell someone the 10th Amendment still means something here. And that is a job for the states. They don't do that very much anymore, y'all. How do you think we got almost $40 trillion in debt? Well, the Senate filibuster started just about as soon as the United States of America started, roughly 1806. By 1917, the filibuster had become commonplace, especially during the contentious 1850s into the 1860s as the Civil War began. But especially in the 1850s, when debate was ongoing with regard to compromising on slave states versus free states and slavery versus abolition of the evil institution and everything else that went with it. And there was a lot of trade discussion. There were a lot of trade disputes between the South and the North, et cetera. Well, by 1917, the Senate adopted Rule 22. And I'm going to talk about that for just a moment. Because starting in 1806, a rule was adopted which allowed a simple majority to end debate. The rule's in place, and it was eliminated in 1806. allowing for unlimited debate. The term filibuster became popular in the 1850s in the buildup to the American Civil War, a.k.a. the War of Northern Aggression. And it truly entered the lexicon at that time. 1917, Rule 22, under pressure from President Woodrow Wilson, who was attempting to jam legislation through, Rule 22 was created. That rule would end debate with a two-thirds vote. It was a procedure that was then known as, and still is known as, cloture. In 1975, the number of votes required for cloture on legislation was lowered from two-thirds to three-fifths of the senators. So it went from 67 senators to 60 senators. But a more important aspect of what we're talking about today happened in 1975. The 1975 rule change said that it was three-fifths of senators voting, or three-fifths of senators seated, or three-fifths of senators sworn. What all of this means and what it meant in 1975 is that the threat of a filibuster was then good enough to table a measure. And the 1975 rule change also allowed for continued discussion, debate, and action on other legislation other than the filibustered bill. Are y'all hearing me? So it allowed for the Senate to continue its business while there was a threat of a filibuster on matters on the floor of the Senate unresolved. What this essentially did was allow for the threat of a filibuster to become the filibuster itself. And now no one actually filibusters unless it's some dog and pony show where they want to break a record. See Cory Booker, see Rand Paul, see, whatever. These guys stand there and they talk for 20 hours or 25 hours. And that's all well and good. And that's fine. And that's a demonstration of the filibuster in action. What I would suggest to you is that we need to repair the filibuster and go back to pre-1975 rules. Actually, I would say this. If you eliminated the filibuster now, you give the Democrats two huge wins during the government shutdown. And it's a bad move on both fronts. Number one, short term, they get out of the government shutdown mess that they created. Whose fault is the government shutdown? Real quick, I'll give you three guesses. The first two don't count. Well, there's only one political party that has now 14 times in a row voted not to open up the government again. One political party has voted repeatedly to reopen the government. One political party in the White House has said that they want the government reopened. All across America, we're like, why can't we reopen the government? We can't reopen the government because of the Democrats, because of Chuck Schumer, and because of his minions in the United States Senate, and because of an inability to force them to actually put in the work. And I'm going to get to that in a minute. So short term, if you eliminated the filibuster and moved on with a cloture vote and got your continuing resolution, it would feel really good in the short term. And I understand that. And that's where Donald Trump's coming from. And he doesn't have to deal with the ramifications of any of this. He's the executive. But you would give the Democrats an out. They created this mess. And as soon as you eliminate the filibuster and move on with a vote, they'll run to the mainstream media, their buddies in the alphabet soups, ABC, CBS, NBC, MSNBC, and, of course, #NeverCNN, and they'll declare victory. And the mainstream media will confirm their messaging. Aided and abetted by the mainstream media, the Democrats will immediately declare victory if you eliminate the filibuster. Hold the line, the Dems will cave. They have to. They have to. That's number one. Number two, long term. The Democrats do not believe in the rule of law. They believe in the rule of the mob. Consistently, they have demonstrated that they are willing to violate the very laws that they claim to believe in order to achieve and accomplish their goals, which, more often than not, involve power and control and spending your money. Democrats do not believe in the rule of law. They believe in mob rule. And if you eliminate the filibuster, trust me when I tell you, it is gone forever. And God forbid that the Democrats ever get back in power. God forbid. What they would do with an ability to cram anything and everything. Imagine it, if you will. They got Obamacare crammed through with a filibuster. Imagine what they will do with single payer if they have a simple majority in the House and a simple majority in the Senate. And perish the thought, a Democrat president of the United States of America. Now, you can live as a Pollyanna, and you can tell me that that's never going to happen again. Well, that was, what was it, 4 years ago? That's what we were living in? Now, I understand why Donald Trump's frustrated, and I do not fault him for his position. I would, however, advise the President of the United States and the United States Senate a different approach. Revise the 1975 rule rather than an elimination of the filibuster altogether. In the revision, keep the 3/5 necessary to call for cloture, but require it for members present, not members voting and not members sworn, members present. Eliminate the ability to do business around the filibuster and make the filibuster the one and only thing when it is invoked in the United States Senate. You have to handle this business and this business only until you get beyond the filibuster or call for cloture. In other words, force the minority to hold the floor and actually be present while holding the floor. Right now, they can be at their home district. They can be home. They can be in California and in Hawaii and New Jersey, wherever the hell they live. And they just say, hey, we're going to filibuster, and then that's up. That's enough. Make them sit there and make them hold the floor and force these lazy SOBs to do the work. And this thing will be over in 3 days. There you go. You are welcome from Matt Murphy to your ears. 24 after the hour on Super Talk. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. We continue. Murphy Show in progress. Larry and Mike, we'll get to you momentarily. We've got a special guest on the line that we want to talk to for just a moment about a very serious topic, and that is, food insecurity, frankly. Tennessee's food banks are going to get a boost as the federal government remains shut down, and that has caused a lot of concern. It was a surprise to many that we have so many individuals that are currently on SNAP benefits, but we do. 42 or 43 million nationwide, depending on the figures that you look at. Well, Governor Bill Lee announced yesterday that $5 million in state money will be distributed to food banks in all 95 counties, with grants allocated based on the number of people receiving SNAP benefits in each region, so allocated based on need. The governor writing, I appreciate the Trump administration's efforts to deliver some relief for the most vulnerable Tennesseans, but the only true solution is for the federal government to reopen now so that families may receive the full resources they need. The governor's faith-based and community initiative is coordinating rapid response across 95 counties. Tennesseans should visit feedtn.org to connect with resources and opportunities to serve. Now, we appreciate the governor's efforts in all of this, but it's going to take more than just that. And as I've been reminding you for many weeks now, it takes a matter of those of us who can giving to those organizations that do such great work in our community. With that in mind, we wanted to talk to some folks that do fabulous work in our community. That's Nashville Rescue Mission. Sam Seipel is with the mission. He's Vice President of Development and Marketing, and he joins us this afternoon to talk about the needs that always crop up this time of year for Nashville Rescue Mission and how particular they are, especially considering that folks are even more food insecure based on their lack of SNAP benefits. Sam, thank you for coming on with us. Good afternoon, sir.
Hey, Matt, good to talk with you.
Well, it's always good to speak with you. Before we talk about SNAP and kind of the pressure that puts on the system there at Nashville Rescue Mission, I can't tell you how excited I am for the Radiothon. It's a very, very special day for us at Super Talk. It's a very special day for me. And gosh, it feels like just a month or so ago. We were there last year, but it's upon us, Sam.
It is, and we're so excited to have you guys back again. I don't know how many years WTN has been doing this, but I do know that literally thousands, if not tens and tens of thousands of folks in Middle Tennessee over the years who have been experiencing food insecurity or housing crisis have benefited from the annual radiothon that you guys support each and every year. It means so much.
Well, we'll be doing that later on this month. Excited about it, and I hope that folks are planning. If you can, if you have the ability, God bless you for those of you who do, to give to Nashville Rescue Mission, such a wonderful organization in our community. And I love the fact, and I remind people always that you guys, you do not receive assistance from the government. You are fully funded by the generosity of the people in and around our community. Do I have that right, Sam?
You do have it right, and that's the way the mission has been since its founding. It's very intentional. It's a part of who we are. Because, you know, we're a Christian ministry, and not only do we want to be able to provide the essential services and programs that are needed by needy individuals, but we want to be able to do so in a way where we can openly share our faith, where we can introduce people to a God who loves them, along with, the hearty meal that they'll receive, the food, the clothing, the shelter, the hygiene, so that, again, because we are blessed in the sense that we're not dependent upon the whims of politics, so because we don't receive government funding, but rather we do depend greatly upon the generosity of individuals throughout Middle Tennessee, churches, corporations, and foundations.
And Sam, while we don't depend on, the government for any of our funding mechanisms, at the same time, actions of the government do have a dramatic impact. And part of the reason we wanted to talk to you today was to get a sense from your perspective what that impact has been and what it potentially can be. I know from my experience with the mission, but maybe some don't, that you're more than just a place to spend the night. And a lot of people understand that those who do not have housing in our community can rely on Nashville Rescue Mission for a place to sleep, particularly when the cold weather comes, obviously, but any time of the year. But also, you're a much-needed service to folks who are food insecure, generally speaking, and I fear that an absence of SNAP benefits, regardless of the politics involved in any of it, an absence of the SNAP benefits is just going to put a little more pressure on the Nashville Rescue Mission to serve those meals.
It is, Matt, because this is our busiest time of the year, particularly November, December, right around the holidays. We get more people that come to our doors in search of food, but also, as you said, shelter and other services that are needed. So, yeah, having the reduction in the SNAP benefits, that is just, it's having some devastating effects on families that already are feeling insecure about where their next meal is going to come from. So we want to make sure that people know that while, yes, Nashville Rescue Mission is known as being a shelter, you don't need to stay overnight here. For somebody who wants to get fed, for somebody who needs a meal, whether it's breakfast, lunch, dinner, whether it's Monday through Sunday, we're available. You just need to find out when our meal times are. You can do that on our website, whether it's at our men's campus on Lafayette Street or our women and children's campus up on Rosa Parks Boulevard. You can find out when those meals are served. Just come to our doors and no questions asked. We'll be able to serve you up something nutritious, something warm, but we'll also be able to do it with a smile on our face as we say welcome.
Well, it's a wonderful thing to have you in our community. I often say, and I've said this to Glenn, the president and CEO of the Nashville Rescue Mission, Glenn Cranfield, and I say it to you, Sam, that I look forward to the day that y'all call us up and go, hey, we're closing up. We don't have any we don't have any customers anymore, so we get to close up. But it doesn't seem like that's going to happen anytime soon because there's always somebody in need. There's always someone that could use a full belly. There's people that need a warm place to sleep at night, and we value you so much in that regard. And now more than ever, how can people find out more about the mission, get more access to the mission, and most particularly if they desire to give early, even before the Radiothon, how can they do that?
Best thing is to go to NashvilleRescueMission.org. You'll see various ways that you can financially support the mission and be able to provide those meals and other essential services. But keep in mind that we also depend greatly upon just the volunteerism of people donating their time to the mission. So we're always looking for folks who are willing to serve those meals here at the mission or help sort things in our warehouse. And speaking of our warehouse, again, we will take donated food items. Again, we don't hand out food like a food bank does, but what we do is we take the food that is donated and we will make it into a nourishing meal to make sure, as you said, those bellies are getting fed.
Well, Sam, thank you so much for everything that you do, both at the Men's Center and the Women's Campus, Women's and Children's Campus. We look forward to this year. We look forward to the Radiothon, and we appreciate every single day of the year the way that you go about your business, the fact that you do teach about Christ's love, which is a wonderful, wonderful opportunity to not just feed someone for a day, but to truly feed their soul for a lifetime. We thank you for that.
Well said. And, Matt, we're looking forward to seeing you and Dan and Chris and Chad, the whole gang here, because we are so grateful for the ongoing support of WTN listeners. So looking forward to seeing that. That's coming up on the Monday before Thanksgiving.
Monday before Thanksgiving.
Before you know it.
Yeah, just a few weeks from now. And folks, if you just happen to be listening to the radio and you have an empty belly, know this: go to the Nashville Rescue Mission. You'll meet wonderful people. You'll sit down with them. You'll break bread with them, and they can feed you for a day. And once again, like I say, most especially they can feed your soul a little bit longer than that. Sam, thank you for everything. We so appreciate you.
Thank you, Matt. God bless you.
God bless you as well. That's Sam Seipel with the Nashville Rescue Mission joining us for a few moments. It's just a wonderful resource to have in town, and I find myself on the political side of these discussions so often, and rightly so. I mean, there's a lot to be said about the fact that we have 42 to 43 million Americans that are dependent on the kindness of others through government to provide food for them. And sadly, we are in a place where a lot of those individuals don't seem to be appreciative of the situation that they find themselves in. In other words, they feel it owed to them or entitled to it. Now, that's a discussion that I have regularly, that we have regularly. We play you the clips. I've got more clips. Jackson was trying to clean up a clip of a lady earlier today that was tossing out the F-bomb, demanding that her needs be met. And we'll play that for you in a minute. But our goal in talking to Sam is to remind you that for whatever reason that you find yourself in a negative situation, there are resources for you. And is that not the right way to do it? My frustration more than anything involves the way that we have flipped the script in terms of the order. I believe that it should be that the community that individuals find themselves in, and their, by extension, church organizations within those communities or charitable organizations within those communities should be there and provide resources for the people who are in need in those given communities. And only if we find a circumstance by which those giving charitable organizations, church-based organizations, community-based organizations, only if those organizations are overrun or cannot fulfill the needs of their communities, only then do you turn to the force of government. Only then do you do so. Well, I am sad to report that we've turned that on its head. And now government comes in first because government, after all, and the politicians within government, they want the credit. And so now government, and by government we mean force, that supersedes the charitable gift giving of community organizations and church-based organizations and other 501c3 groups. That's not the way that it should be. I believe that most of this could be handled by those groups. We find ourselves in the most generous area, in the most generous country on God's green earth, the South in the United States of America. Look it up. You don't have to believe me. It's not even close. And I fully believe that we can take care of our own if left to our own devices. Sadly, we turn this on its head, and the government takes these things over. And many of these charitable organizations, they dry up, especially in smaller communities. Because, government got this. It's not the way that it should be. 51 after the hour, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Your call's coming up right after this. That does not sound good.
Doesn't look good either.
Ken Weaver on top of that. That's coming up in mere moments on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. We'll also give you the full details on Governor Bill Lee's announcement to try to assist some folks who need food assistance in the state of Tennessee. I've got this follow-up with Heidi Campbell. She apparently just finds it, no problem whatsoever to accuse the president of the United States of America of a very serious criminal offense. We'll talk about that. And, of course, your telephone call is 615-737-9986. Larry's been holding on for some time. Larry, I got a couple of minutes for you. What's going on, brother?
Hey, Matt. Thanks for taking my call.
Of course.
First of all, hold on. Will you hush? I am on the phone. Hush.
Hey, what's your dog's name, Larry?
Well, I'm down to two. I've got Lucky, a.k.a. Crackhead. I got Buddy, a.k.a. Chunky Monkey. They're both loud.
Chunky Monkey. Oh, send me pictures, Larry. Pictures.
I will.
Right.
I will.
All right. What's going on?
First of all, say hello to Miss E.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly, congratulations to Brother Ken for his Sooners for kicking my damn Big Orange butts this weekend.
Thank you, Brother Larry.
It kills me to say that, but I love Brother Ken. I'm not gonna dishonor Brother Ken. I do disagree with you on one thing. Saddam did have weapons of mass destruction. I saw videos from someone that I really trust dearly. That was with one of our 3-letter designator agencies that saw those being trucked to Syria. Okay, but that's beside the point. Dick Cheney is a POS, just like John Kerry, just like John McCain. I appreciate their service, but just because you served don't mean that you're not a POS. And I have not shed one tear over Dick Cheney, just like I didn't share a tear over John McCain. And hopefully one of these days I won't have to share a tear over John Kerry.
Well,
I know that sounds rough, Matt, and I
get
it. But
get it.
As a veteran that loves this country,
Mm-hmm.
to see them do this country the way they did, especially John Kerry, I mean, it just. I got to watch my language because I don't want to get hit by the red button.
This call will be recorded.
No, Sherry, this call is not going to be recorded.
This call is no longer being recorded.
Oh, okay. Hey, Larry. Larry, I got to scoot to news anyway. I'm going to let you formulate your thoughts, and I'll let you finish them up on the other side. And Jimmy. Is that Mr. Jimmy? Oh, Mr. Jimmy. We love him. John wants to talk food stamps. Connie wants to talk about Donald Trump. I want to talk about Nancy Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi figured out who the worst person on planet Earth is. The worst person on planet Earth. Lot to choose from. She picked. Nancy might be the worst person on planet Earth, but not to Nancy. She's got another idea. I'll tell you what that is coming up in a moment. It's time for the news on Super Talk.